Unique New York.
Unique New York. Unique New York. Unique New York. New York. New York. Unique New York.
Unique Nork.
The rain on the plain stays mostly in Spain.
Mork and Mindy.
That also works.
Shazbot.
Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers.
Say that 8 times.
Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers.
Oh.
Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. 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 How many was that?
That was 6.
Yeah, but the
Damn it.
one before 6, he said Peter Pepper,
Did I really?
which I'm okay with. Yeah, you're like Peter Pepper.
It was still pretty fluid.
If he's doing whatever the fuck with peppers, he should be Peter Pepper.
Right.
Why are they not calling him that? That's a missed opportunity. Okay. Game of the month for July's episode of Game of the Month. The show where we Game of the Month. My name's Game. This is Month. That's of. Does not here today. It never will be. He's dead. All right. What's going on, guys, and welcome to July's episode of Game of the Month, the show where we pick a game at random and play it throughout the month, and we talk about the end of the month. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
And a quick reminder, we got a Discord down the link below. Click that. Talk to us all the time, anytime. We're also on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you'd like to listen to us on there instead of watching our beautiful faces. We got some beautiful dudes here. Yeah, you can listen to us on there. Links below. And if you're listening to us and you want to see these beautiful faces, come to YouTube, Tasty Loot Gaming. Check us out. Another quick reminder that you have until tomorrow, Saturday, to play Heavy Rain and Absolver. We'll be talking about that on Plus Club. Play those games. Let us know what you thought of them. We'll let you know what we thought of them. We're hoping to have a guest, so stay tuned for that. It'll be an interesting thing to have another person via webcam. So this will be interesting for everybody. But I'm actually really excited for that episode. But this is Game of the Month. So before we get into it, we played Earth Defense Force 4.1. But before we talk about that, let's find out what our Game of the Month for what's next month, August? Yes. This month's going by, or this year's going by way too fucking fast.
So I know Chris will be excited.
This is not good.
Because his investment will get used. It's Vermintide 2.
Oh, nice.
I was hoping this would be it.
I was hoping we would get Vermintide 2 in the time that it's still been kind of fresh and not like, 4 years later, we're like, Vermintide 3's out. What are we doing? So yeah, Vermintide 2 will be our Game of the Month for August. Very cool. That's a game I'm definitely looking forward to playing. We played it a pretty good amount. I mean, like put a lot of hours into it for about a week or two and then kind of fell out of it. So definitely didn't get burnt out on it. Did you play it?
Like one time with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know, well, it kind of all died when fucking Rob decided to go hunt down the guys who made Vermintide 2 and make them fix his one problem on his computer. Because he started having issues randomly, which was really dumb. We were playing for a while and having fun, and then all of a sudden it wouldn't work. And he's like, I'm going to get a hold of them and have them fix this for me. I'm like, I don't know if that works that way. You might have to wait for a patch.
No, I mean, it works out for me, too, because Chris actually ended up buying this game for me, and so I only played it once.
Chris did?
Yeah, it was right after tax season, I think. So, and I played it once, and I think about it every once in a while, like, man, I really should play that. It was purchased for me, so even better.
Yeah, and let's play this earlier than the last week.
Yeah,
let's do that because we just recently played Earth Defense Force 4.1, The Shadow of New Despair. That's the last time I'm saying that, and yeah. We waited till, well, I didn't wait, but we all as a group waited till the end of the month to play it. Yeah. And it's a very fun game. Already kind of jumping the gun, but
yeah. Also, this was available, I believe, on everything except for Switch. So
yeah,
I'm not 100% sure on the Xbox front on that, but I know it's on PS4 and PC. So
Yeah. In case you didn't have a chance to play it, you can look up in the corner right here. There's some cool footage playing. I actually played every single class for you guys, so you can get a little taste of all of them. But it is a third-person cooperative shooter where you essentially try to save the world from an alien menace that takes the form of giant insects sometimes, and then sometimes as flying machines. And they have 4 classes. They all do different things. You have one guy who's kind of like an engineer who has vehicles. You have a mech type dude who is kind of slow and has more like melee weapons. You have a flying girl who does more agile stuff with weapons, and then you have a soldier who just pretty much does damage. And yeah, you as you play get armor. There's boxes of armor that just drop, and as you get those, you accrue more armor for the class you're playing. Later down the road, as you get more armor, like your actual armor goes up, you have to collect more of those boxes per tick of armor. And then there's random weapon boxes they'll drop, and you get random weapons. And there are a lot of fucking weapons in this game, and they're really crazy. They definitely use their imagination with this game.
Yeah, didn't you get an achievement for getting 10% of the weapons?
Chris did, I thought. I didn't get that. Yeah,
That was me.
yeah. We were playing for hours, and then he got an achievement. It's like 10% of the weapons. Like, well, fuck. I've played this game not only recently but like before for hours, and I'm still, even on lower difficulties, getting brand new weapons. So I mean, there's just a shitload of content to this game. Also, there's over 100 levels in this game to play,
And 5 difficulties.
and per class you get the star for the difficulty.
Yeah, so you have to play every class on every difficulty for completion.
To complete the whole fucking thing, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could probably talk about this game forever. So I'm going to first give the floor to Chris. Let us know your general impressions of this game.
Well, I've heard you guys talk about it a lot, and always with the grain of salt that the graphics aren't always the best, but it's the gameplay that's really what keeps you going.
Oh, yeah.
And that's absolutely what it was for me. Like, the graphics seemed like an old, like, rail gun or rail track slider shooter game you'd see in an arcade, like old, like, what was it, Time Crisis 2,
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Yeah, I can
That's
get
what
behind
it
that.
totally reminds me of. But the gameplay itself, I even played after we played together by myself for a couple hours on just trying to increase the difficulty, trying to get more and more guns. It's so addicting. It is very much like Diablo, the fact that you're trying to collect all the loot.
It almost feels like, to me, like Dynasty Warriors. Just the sheer amount of people you're killing and the random drops of weapons and stuff. Only, obviously, futuristic.
Unless you're fighting fucking the giant quadruped thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fun, though. It's definitely more fun in a group, but I could play this by myself for a very long time. The graphics are simple, but not overly simple. Like I said, it's like early 2000s, late 1997, 98-ish graphics almost.
Yeah, if this came out then, it'd be fucking ahead of the time. They'd be looking at it going, holy shit, you can destroy all this stuff. This is crazy. And even now I look at it, I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy. You can destroy this whole city. But it's because those graphics allows for that game to have that many enemies on screen, that many buildings that you can destroy at once, bullets that you can shoot across the city and destroy something on the other side. Things are actively happening at the same time. So I mean, like, the graphics make complete sense, even though it's funny. You look at the game. Anytime I show people that game, they're instantly just like, oh. But I'm like, just play it. You're gonna have so much fun that you're gonna start liking the graphics. It's got a fucking charm to it. It takes me back to like PlayStation 2 era.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I recently got a gun that shoots like 6 or 7 missiles in a horizontal pattern, and I just, instead of saving the city, I kind of leveled it as I went through.
That's we kind of talked about it already, but I was saying, like, if you're in one of these cities and the aliens attack, obviously you're gonna be like, oh my god, the aliens are here. But as soon as like you get a call and someone's like, EDF's coming, you're like, we gotta get the fuck out of this city. The real threat's here, because EDF doesn't come to save the people; they come to save the fucking planet. They're gonna glass this place because the threat has showed up here, and the threat has to stop here. The people here are expendable; they're gone. People around screaming help and shit, and you're just destroying blocks of this city in seconds. Like it's insane, like how much destruction you're fucking doing in this game. Especially with my guy having that grenade launcher that I shoot it, it shoots fucking grenades in every direction, and they start ricocheting off buildings. It almost becomes like its own mini game of me going, whoa, I'm ducking under some, and then like I'll see Chevy over there fighting, and I'm like watching some of the grenades. I'm like, is he gonna get fucking blown up over there? And it's just kind of it's like rolling the dice each time I shoot that fucking thing. Mm-hmm. But it lags the game out and fucking blows up everything. So
I had a mortar cannon on the heavier guy, the Gundam, basically, and I was off by like a fraction of an inch on shooting an ant, and then the mortar just goes straight through the city, right into this building, like way in the background. I just see the building kind of go. I coughed a bunch of dust. I was like, it's fine. Then, like, literally 2 seconds later, the building goes, no. I was like, oops, my bad.
Story of my life. With
there's been a couple times where, sorry.
Oh, I can't remember the class names because they have
Wing Diver,
Lancer,
Air Raider.
Air Raider is what I
Lancer and Soldier?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that. Yeah, it's basic.
Ranger. I think
Ranger. Yep. Look, we did it.
Yeah, I would say story of my life playing the Air Raider is the city around me is gone. There's no way it's not gonna go away. So
I had that. Oh shit! What's that Dragon Ball Z move? Goddamn. Spirit Bomb. Yeah, that Spirit Bomb I shot off into the... You only have like 2 rounds, which is probably a good thing because the ball is huge, and as soon as it contacts anything, it just goes ooh, and just like blinding light, and just takes out a whole area. It's stupid. So I'm like, okay, two bullets, that's fine. I don't need this anymore.
The only thing I didn't like about it was the mobility of the characters. It seems like a lot of them are very, very slow. Just walking from city block to city block, and these maps are massive. Just getting from point A to point B is a task.
See, that's an interesting thing, because every time I play it, anytime I come back to it, I'm like, man, people move fucking slow. There's 2 things I like about that, though. First off, it makes you appreciate mobility, and it adds to the scale of the game. You do feel like you're walking down a street in a city, and when you're walking down like those very like quintessential like suburbs of like, you know, Japan, where it's like these tight like housing areas and small alleyways, when you're running at like a normal human speed, it feels like you're actually running down those. And then when the place gets decimated, you get that sense of scale. But also there's vehicles that we're not using when we were playing that can transport people. So I mean, there's means of actually moving people around. We just weren't playing that way.
It's because I don't want to drive your asses around.
Yeah, well, I don't want you to drive me around either, because I don't want to be sitting in there while something runs up and just destroys the vehicle. I already play enough Battlefield. I fucking hate just sitting there while I hear. I'm like, oh god, when are we gonna die? But yeah, I do agree. I normally just hit the roll button as the Ranger, and I roll left and right, kind of in a zigzag, because it's faster than running forward. And then with the Wing Diver, it's probably the best bet. Lancer, you can boost quite a bit. I actually tested something right before filming this where I would switch my weapons and boost, so I got 2 boosts.
Yeah, they're the vertical and the horizontal.
Yeah,
boost.
I do the vertical one and then the horizontal one, then the vertical one, then the horizontal one. It seemed to work pretty good.
If you have one of the weapons that's a physical lance that like shoots like doesn't shoot bullets, but like projectiles lances out. If you do the vertical boost, switch to the lance and do the horizontal boost, then attack, you go even further. It's just like you're just like boosting super fast across the map. It's ridiculous.
I did notice when we played the underground map, I don't think you're doing anything special, but you were boosting, and when you're playing that character, you don't really notice that you're moving that fast. But when you're like the Ranger on foot, like it's, unless you're rolling, it's hard to keep up with that. So yeah. Anything else?
It's too much fun. I'm gonna keep playing it.
Yeah, definitely. No, I was telling Chevy, if I get picked for Game of the Month this month, I might just pick EDF again, because I'm not down playing it. I every night I come home, I start playing it again. I'm like, oh cool, fucking just getting some shit. I spent like 3 hours on the same map one night, just like grinding for armor and weapons and shit. So Jumping to my impressions, obviously huge fan of it. We've talked about it quite a bit. I was actually happy to see Chris picked it up after, I think it was after one of the episodes we were talking about how fun it was again, and then he had just picked it up right after filming that. So apparently that was a good enough incentive. I'm glad you like it too, because it really is a fun game. I think it's a game like a lot of Japanese games, just made for fun. It doesn't take itself too serious. It has a storyline, but who gives a fuck about it? It's pretty basic. Aliens are invading, kill them. And it just has everything that I really need in a game to have fun with. It has surprisingly tight controls for like shooting, a crazy amount of weapons that are like new and exciting, different types, different things. 4 classes, progression, a shitload of content levels that I think are actually really interesting level designs that vary quite a bit each level. Is not like the last one unless it's like a 3-parter. Sometimes in the story there's like 3 levels that will be in the same area, but it's telling something. The destruction is awesome. It's ridiculous. Sometimes it feels like Godzilla, which is something that you just don't see in any games at all. So it offers something that I don't see in other games. And yeah, it's just a blast. 4-player co-op, which is awesome. It's just the game is just from the ground up built for fun. And one thing that I would love to see, because they are making a new EDF, and I cannot wait for that game. Like seriously, one of my most anticipated games. I want that game first day buy. One thing I would love to see them do, they don't need to change shit. Just give me new content, new areas, new graphics, all that stuff, new game. But it'd be really cool, even if it's just some kind of slot, and have like minor perks you can put on your character. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing it's missing. That's it. Or maybe upgrades to guns or some kind of attachments or whatever. That'd be really neat. That's a lot to ask for. I'm just saying if they added that, that would make the game better. But the game's already great. Keep it this way. I will fucking play the next one as is. But even Josh saying like, 5% increase to reload speed or something like that. Have that one, because in that game there's some really ridiculous weapons. So you want to get too crazy with the build, because then you could just be like, but that game doesn't even care about that. There's some weapons that are so ridiculous that like they're already OP. I have a grenade launcher that you can just go tung 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 and just fucking blow everything up, and the reload's almost instant. So I don't think they would care too much about that. But that'd be really cool to see. But yeah, longtime fan of the game. Coming back and playing again just reminded me of how much I love it. Makes me think back to the first time I ever saw EDF in GameStop years ago for 360. Looked at the case, like, that looks like generic garbage. I will never play this game. And then here I am in 2018 going, I love this fucking game. Why was I dumb? Don't judge games about fighting aliens off by their covers. Very specific advice, but trust me on this.
Very on the nose.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I could talk about this forever. So, really love it. I love the game. It's awesome. It's really fun. It was awesome to play with you guys. I had only played with like one other person when I've done co-op in the game. So playing with like 3 people is really fun. In that kind of game, like you don't really feel like they originally had it. So like when you grabbed armor and you grabbed guns, you got those. And whatever everybody grabbed was specifically to them and did not get shared. They've changed that, which is awesome to see. Yes. Because it took the one thing that kind of muddied the co-op experience, and it's just gone. You can just fucking have fun, and it's awesome. The game is dope as shit. Chevy.
So, I mean, you've both said it, and I think it has to be said again because it is very important. This is the perfect example of gameplay over graphics.
Yeah.
The game does everything that you could want out of this type of game, and it doesn't necessarily look that great, but you start playing it, and that just goes right away. Yep. As far as like nitpicks I have, and things I'd like to see in future iterations of the game, I do think there are some UI things that could be a little easier, specifically when it comes to making multiplayer rooms.
Menus the menus before the game, for sure.
Their wording is super weird on things. I also hate that the D-pad opens up a separate menu and has separate things to do in it as well, which is just super confusing.
I like that you can, because it reminds me of like Phantasy Star, that you can talk to people in that game without having to talk to them.
I like that, but in the lobby,
You can still do that in there too with the D-pad.
That's my complaint.
Yeah,
is
it's
that
weird.
I want to go through the menus with the D-pad, and it opens up another menu instead.
Yeah.
So I think that's a little weird. Maybe hold a button and use the D-pad for that kind of stuff would be a quick fix to that.
Yeah, there should be like or utilize the fucking touchpad.
Yeah, but that's not gonna translate to like PC and Xbox.
I don't give a fuck about them. We're playing on PS4. They can figure it out.
It's also worth noting on Steam, you can, obviously you can see the reviews, and the reviews are super positive for this game there as well. So obviously we're not alone when it comes to the joy for this game.
Which is awesome, because I don't really know a whole lot of people in real life who have played this outside of like close friends who have played it like with me or something like that. A lot of people haven't played this game, so I'm glad that they are releasing them here for a reason, because like I'm sure we all loved it, so people have to like it. I mean, like we all like good games or whatever. That's subjective, but like we have varied opinions on games and stuff. Right. This is a game that all three of us can just see why it's fun. So I can't see how most people couldn't.
Yeah, no, it'd be really weird just because like you kind of said before, it has the gameplay, it's got loot, it's got progression. There's lots of content on the disc. You could easily sink hundreds of hours in this game.
Yeah.
And you probably wouldn't even notice, to be honest.
If you're a completionist, you have a big mountain to climb.
Yeah, big mountain. So probably a nightmare for trophy chasers.
Yeah, what is that? Going through over 100 levels 5 times per 4 classes.
What's 5? That's 20 per character. So, it's 20 total, I mean. So, yeah, like 2,000.
That's just a weekend.
That's my brain.
Nice little quaint weekend of EDF.
Let's see.
Simple. Non-stop. Caffeine fueled.
Defense Force.
Grind your teeth. Maybe some Coke if you're into that. Oh, the aliens. I gotta stop them.
Oh, the box.
Yeah. So, other than that, I guess I'm just gonna kind of talk about just like my personal experiences with the game, just a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't even do that. I'm just like, I love it.
I have tried all the classes. I have found myself mostly gravitating towards the aerator, which is more of a support class, which is what I tend to play in games anyways. They have vehicles is the big one, and that can be anywhere from like a transport vehicle to a tank to an anti-air vehicle to motorcycles to larger than skyscraper mechs. So there's a lot of options there. There's helicopters as well.
Motorcycles that don't work.
Yeah.
There's so many things in this game that some of them just don't work.
Backtrack real quick. The overall review on Steam for the game is overwhelmingly positive. So I think that's at least 80% of people saying it's good. Let's see. Their weapons are probably their weakest point, just because they're mostly you shoot these little, I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head, but they stick to things, then you have to hit another button to make them explode, and then you reload. So
that's one of the weapons, but yeah,
that's their main. Like there's variations of that, but that's their main gun. They have laser painters, so like you can hold a laser on something and an airstrike will come in, or naval bombardment, or another player
space shuttle will come crashing in,
or space shuttle, or another player with guided missiles can shoot and it'll go over there. So they're literally meant for that. I can also make barriers to hide behind and shit like that. So they're definitely a support class, but I really enjoy it. There's a lot of like tools there. It just can be a little difficult at times when we were playing together, for example, and we were doing missions where like we had to kill things before we got overwhelmed by them, and I don't have the killing power the same way without using my turrets, but then I'm losing all my support stuff if I use the turrets. So it's a tricky thing there, but that's part of the fun of the game, and it also really kind of forces you to not just use the same weapons over and over again, which I kind of appreciate. So
yeah, every once in a while I have to switch up my loadout, which is good because obviously you can just become like that kind of dulls the whole experience if you're just kind of using what works the whole time. Every once in a while, you got to be like, well, there's a lot of air enemies in this one. I need something that can lock onto like 20 things at a time. Since you were talking about the class, I like all 4 of the classes, just saying, but the 2 I gravitate towards is the Ranger, just because I like the straightforwardness of the weapons. He has like essentially assault rifles, sniper rifles, shotguns, rocket launchers, grenade launchers, and support stuff I never touch. He can put shields on people, he can heal people, he can do a bunch of shit. I don't do any of that. I just kill things. He's got machine guns that can shoot like 3 streams of fucking bullets at a time, kind of like if you're playing like Gradius or something.
Say bullet hell games.
Yeah, which is really nice for crowds. There's a machine gun. There's so many weapons in this game. Some of them are just ridiculous, and you're like, why the fuck would you have this? He has a machine gun that shoots in a spray, almost like a fucking shotgun, but it's like shooting like 1 bullet in each direction. And they do a lot of damage, but like they don't really. You're not gonna kill a single enemy with that. But if there's like a crowd, you're hitting the whole fucking crowd.
I'll say if a swarm of ants comes at you or something.
Yeah, but I wouldn't suggest using it because there's other weapons you could just lay into an ant and kill it. So if you're killing this ant, you just fucking pull it across and kill the crowd. But it's just funny that it's in the game. Someone might like it. But yeah, the missile launchers and grenade launchers are like a big go-to for me, just because a lot of times you can get a huge fucking blast radius and just kill a lot of shit at once, which is really nice. And then the other one I like a lot is the wing diver, just because I like the mobility, being able to fly. A lot of the weapons are really interesting because you have to share your energy reserve of your jetpack with the gun itself, so you have to kind of balance out flying and shooting. You get to a point where you're just kind of fluttering the flying button while shooting and kind of watching your energy level kind of like move around and kind of figure it out from there. But they have a lot of really interesting weapons, a lot of really devastating weapons. I should say they all have pretty devastating weapons. Yeah. Even the mech guy can like with a hammer hit the ground and send like a fucking shockwave that destroys shit in front of him. But yeah, those are the 2 I typically go towards. The big guy I like. I also like that you can carry 4 weapons. He's definitely like a big like barbarian type class. But he's too slow for me. So I don't typically I enjoy playing him, but I never go to him first. If everybody else is like playing like Rangers, I might go to that just to change it up. But
right.
And then Air Raider I like
rave in the air.
But it's not quite my cup of tea. So
oh yeah,
you're talking about the wing diver.
Wing diver, yeah. The weapon is distracting.
Yeah, yeah. Chris is flying out this fucking supposed to be chainsaw,
just shooting energy beams everywhere.
Yeah,
I really want to see what that looks like from a different angle because all I see is like a vertical line of light in front of me, just kind of meh.
Yeah, it looks like a bunch of lights just fluttering through, like in a shotgun pattern almost out front of you.
Huh. It looks like a big ass mohawk that's going into the ground in front of you, and then where it's touching the ground is just sparks, like you're splitting the river like Moses.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I will say, like, I'm sitting there, shooting because my weapons don't have the flashiness. They just you will know because all of a sudden it just explosions will happen. But then I'm watching Seth's little orange fucking grenades bounce all over the place. And
you got to. You got to keep an eye on those
lights.
Yeah.
Like, this is fucking chaos, man.
I want to at some point just get a bunch of fucking air raiders or what are they called? Is that
wing diver?
No,
Air Raider.
Yeah, Air Raider, and get like the biggest mechs. Just have 4 mechs. Just see how long we can fucking survive with ants crawling all over us.
Probably not that long, sadly, because when they're on you, you can't hit them unless you.
But you have the other people to hit them off.
Oh, that's true.
Because even like the Velgita, or whatever the hell it's called. Every time I see it, I think of Velveeta and Vegeta. But
I think it is Vegeta.
Is it Vegeta?
I think so.
I have multiple versions of it. The one I was using earlier has 2 machine guns and then 2 rockets, and it moves really fucking slow, but it's really proficient in killing. Like you can really time out those shots, and by the time you're done with it, you can pretty much order another one.
I have a small mech that is in that series as well, and it's the one arm is a machine gun, the other is a missile launcher, and it's really good at killing. It just doesn't have a big hit point pool. And then the skyscraper tall one I have literally only punches and kicks.
Yeah. I think that's fair, though. It'd be ridiculous if you're that big and trying to aim down at small ants.
Shitload of hit points, though.
You can stomp, though.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I would say L1 and R1 are your left and right hands, and then L2 and R2 are your feet.
Chevy let me drive it once. I didn't kill the ants.
I didn't quite let you. I just got out of it, and you were like, "Hey, I can pilot this," and jumped in.
It's a weird way to put that. Someone gets out of the car. Let me drive this, right? Just drive off someone's car.
It is super slow, though.
It is very slow, but it's fun just to punch the buildings down.
Once you get out of the seat, that's letting me drive it. You've allowed me in. A seat vampire. Once you open the door, I'm invited in.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, overall, obviously, I think we all agree, opinion-wise, it's a great game. So
yeah, it's awesome. Anything else you guys want to say on it? We could probably talk about anecdotal things all night, but
the only thing I wish that was super different was cosmetics. Those characters only can change their color.
That's a good thing to add. Yeah, like I said, if they could add something, I'd love to see some kind of basic like perk system or stat system maybe to make the classes seem individual, but aesthetics would be fucking cool too, because you can change the color. At the very least, I wish you could change more colors. If you change the whole outfit your own colors, I'd be happy with that. But if there's like even like as you got higher in armor level, get like different looking stuff, or like be able to buy like visual equipment or whatever, just the way it looks or whatever, like differently, that'd be fucking awesome. It would add some more individuality to, when you're using one of the million fucking weapons in the games and you look different than like the other ranger in the area. So that'd be really cool. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I want to customize the basil art, which I think is that motorcycle that sucks.
I stopped using the motorcycles after learning they're fucking impossible.
Yeah, it's like someone pulled the e-brake on the fucking motorcycle and then took a giant fucking spike, slammed it through the top of the motorcycle into the concrete, and then they told you to drive it. And you're on a road that's covered in fucking olive oil.
I'll have to get it and let you drive it. It's awful.
It makes no sense. I'm like, why is this in the game? This is literally a broken object in the game that they left here.
Because they wanted to add more stuff to the game.
For the challenge.
We can't figure this out. We'll fucking move on to the next thing. It's like, not finished.
It's like the spider tanks and buildings. That's
work.
Well, except your cameras look like going.
They just follow the same principles as the ants.
Just
they just go.
Like I don't know what direction I'm looking anymore.
Yeah.
It's great if you can finally get to where you want to be and like just sit there and shoot things, but yeah.
It's creepy. You can be on the side. It doesn't even matter being on the side of a building, because buildings are fucking so disposable in that game that you're not going to be on it for very long. I watched multiple times Chris trying to land on buildings as I'm destroying them. I'm shooting missiles. I'm watching my missiles in a millisecond traveling towards a building that I see him trying to float down on. I'm like, no, you're not going to be able to land there. And then he goes to the next one. I'm already shooting over there. I'm like, you're not going to be able to land there either. He's like, what about here? I'm like, not that one. No. You're going to have to go to a whole other part of the city.
It's like the level with the giant like quadruped thing that I think you just have to live long enough until the airstrike kills it. But when we were doing that,
fuck that thing.
Anytime it would go behind the buildings, I would literally just use my tank and take the building out so I can keep shooting at it.
The enemy did that to me a couple times on that exact same level. I ran behind a building to not get shot, and then I saw the building get destroyed. It cracked and started falling, and as soon as it cracked, they shot through the building and killed me. I'm like, wow, that's nice. Got a crackerjack shot on that side of the fucking building. Oh, it's fine. I'll just kill him through the building. That was the point. That game is such a good representation of when the aliens come and destroy us, and we have to resort to the most crazy shit to try and fight them off, to the point where it's almost not even worth the fight, and fucking, because it's just complete destruction. I mean, like, whoever survives, not many, so the earth is fucked. But regardless, Josh is telling me, because he decided I didn't care about spoilers, he started telling me about it. I'm like, well, what other spoilers you got? He's like, you don't care about spoilers for that game. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm glad you get to fucking decide that. But so he continues telling me the fucking spoiler. But fucking, so I'm gonna tell everybody. He's saying towards the end of the game, or whatever, fucking, there's a mission where you're fighting. They're like, we're down to 75% of the Earth's population is dead. They're like, down to 85, down to 90, down to 95. So, like, even in the lore, like, the whole Earth is dead. Which is fucking horrifying that you're still fighting this. I told Josh, I'm like, at 95% of the Earth being dead, you shouldn't be fighting anymore. Yeah, give up. There's nobody left. It's over. Like, he said there's also one where he's trying to rendezvous with
there's
bases.
Still a few million people at that point.
Yeah. Well, there was one point in human history a long time ago that we dropped down to like 10,000 on the whole planet. So we almost went extinct a couple times. But that time was like really fucking low. That's like a couple fucking tribes were alive. Yeah, during the Ice Age. Really crazy shit. And Earth Defense Force recreates that. There's a mission, I guess, too, where there's like these relay points you're trying to meet up to, and they're like, this one's down, go to the next one. This one's down, go to the next one. They go down to like, they're like base A, base B, base C, and then later they're like base fucking N, base O, fucking P. Like they're skin destroyed. Like the game's just, it has that very like Akira fucking Japanese self-destruction thing of like, fuck it, just destroy the Earth. Just kill us all. It's very just like ready to die, which is pretty intense. It's a very fun game. Let's get into recommendations.
Okay. I'm going to say virtually anybody. Yep. There's too much to offer gameplay wise and play style wise. The only people I think would have a hard time with this is if you really are a forgive the term, but a graphics queen. You know, then you might you might not be able to play this game.
That's exactly what I assume they look like. So you show them a game that's not God of War, they're like,
Yeah. So I mean,
I don't know.
If graphics are that important to you, you're not gonna like this game. But
you should still try it though.
Yeah.
Because you might all of a sudden go, holy shit, I've been wrong about my whole life.
Yeah. But I mean, if you can play a game for the sake of fun, I mean, this is the right game.
This game speaks for itself, dude. Just play it.
You don't need, like, the story isn't, like, it's there, obviously, and obviously has aspects to it.
It's intense and dire.
But
you like dark shit?
You're not going to become a lore junkie from this game.
I'm interested to know. 95% of the Earth dead? That's dark. That's some shit I'm into.
You played what's that game where you create a virus and try to take out the world and just have to get into Madagascar before they close the gates?
Yep.
Can't remember.
Plague Inc.
Yeah.
There's two of them, but yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, pretty much anybody. I don't think I can really expand on that.
Yeah, so. I think everybody should play this game. I think everybody will enjoy this game. I think everybody will look at this game when you're playing, and they're going to go, what the fuck are you playing? And then you go, well, just play it. And then they're going to play it. They're going to love it. Yeah, I regardless of what genres you're into, I think you'll still enjoy this game. I think it's almost impossible not to, just because the amount of crazy shit that other games don't offer. You're going to play this and go, oh my God, I can't believe that's a thing. Oh my God, I can't believe I just destroyed a whole block in a city.
In a second.
Look at all these ants. This is crazy. I love Starship Troopers. Yeah, people who are super into graphics, which I mean, like, I don't even really know anybody like that. I'm probably more into graphics than a lot of people. Like, I really love fucking nice graphics, but of course, gameplay matters more. But I think some people are like kind of nitpicky and will maybe look at the game and just be like, well, it doesn't make sense. Like, why are we fighting aliens? Why are we fighting? Like, what's going on here? This is ridiculous. And people who like, can't just like open up to have fun, stupid fun. It might be a struggle, but I think even you deep down, you might be lying to yourself, because I think you love the game and you should keep playing it. Because I don't think anybody could dislike this game. You'd have to really just be like, this is dumb. I don't like fun. I don't like music. I don't like movies. I don't like you.
Oh my.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah, you have to be that person. So, other than that, yeah, everybody should play it. Chris, you want to add anything to that?
I think you guys covered most of it. The only thing I would add is if you're one of those people who like to play shooting games with one set of weapons, probably wouldn't want to play this, because this requires a lot of like changing of weapons depending on the mission type, and just because there's such a wide variety of weapons. You just want to change them out anyways to try everything.
Yeah.
If you're one of those players who just like to play with, I'm just going to take this assault rifle and just play the whole game with this one gun, it's probably not for you.
Yeah, well, you'll struggle.
I was playing with friends who were pretty much, taking care of shit for you. I mean, I feel like this is a game like you could kind of like when you're playing like Soul Calibur and someone's like, I'm not very good at fighting games. You're like, well, here's Maxi. And they're like, wow, this is fun. It's this game, like you could just throw on easy or normal. Be like, here's the most destructive weapon and a practical weapon that shoots fast and reloads fast. Have at it. And they're just going to run in, whee, just killing shit.
So side note, when I was setting up the room for us all to play together, there was a lot of room still. So there's still people playing this game online. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a fucking underground community. I play a lot of games that are like niche crowds. This is niche. Like, yeah. I don't know any of these people. There's a bunch of people. It's like a bunch of bands I listen to that I'm like, nobody knows this band. And they go online. There's all these people like, I fucking love these guys. No one understands them. Like, no one knows about it. But how the fuck? Where are you guys at? Same thing with this. This is that underground band game. And it's got a new one coming out, and I hope it in some way blows it up a little bit more than it already is, because it definitely needs more people excited about it.
1,000 stages and 10 difficulties.
I wouldn't even be surprised.
A new class would be nice.
Would be, but they showed off stuff I think 2 years ago, and it's still the same 4. At least 2 years ago it was. So
same 4
classes.
Oh, I thought you meant like the same game, the same 4. I was like, that's a weird way to say that. That was just me not hearing it correctly. Yeah. So everybody should play it. Yeah. Okay, I'll grade it. I'm gonna give it a fucking A. I'm giving it an A, solid A, which is something you'd expect for like a AAA game. Like typically you hear about like the big game, big hype game. You give it a fucking high grade. I'm giving this an A because I can't see any faults in it that are enough to lower it. I have a shitload of fun with it, more fun than like games with really good stories and graphics and shit. I have like a blast playing this game by myself and with people. There's no stress of playing with people. No one's getting shit that I can't get. It's all shared. It's awesome. The game's really fun. Everything about it's fun. There's a shitload of content. There's so much to it. It's the epitome of a game that's fun. Like Sherry said earlier, it's a game that the graphics don't matter because the gameplay is so good. It's the fucking example of that. And yeah, when I talk about like I'm anticipating the next one, I'm like highly anticipating it. I'm really excited for it just because of how fun this game is. So A, which is crazy. I've been trying to convince myself all day today that it's not an A game. I can't do it. I'm like, why is it an A? Well, like let's lower it. What's bad about it? Why can't we give it an A minus? I'm like, it's not. It's better than an A minus. I have a blast with it no matter what. The graphics, I don't give a fuck.
All right.
I love it. Grade it.
Chris?
This is a tough one for me. I do really enjoy the game a lot, but there are some things in it that I find discouraging. The character speed, I get it. It does really help with scale, but it is kind of a struggle to get from point A to point B for me. And I'm gonna skip grading based on graphics because it's the gameplay over graphics thing. I will give it a very, very, very strong B plus for me.
Nice.
Very strong B plus. It's like a weak A minus, but I'm just gonna stick with a strong B plus.
Yeah, well, I expected you guys to probably go in the B area because any other game like this, I'd probably go B. But it's just my long legacy of this game. It's like it's not even a guilty pleasure. It's just I really fucking like it.
Mm-hmm. You get so much content alone, just content alone. Mm-hmm. This game is like $23. You get 500 levels technically if you play all the characters through everything. It's ridiculous. 2,000 altogether at all difficulties. Mm-hmm. That's asinine. You get so much money or bang for your buck from this.
Yeah, definitely good grade.
Yeah, I'm right in the middle of you guys. I'm an A minus.
Damn.
I think the game is extremely fun. It's really easy to lose track of time while you're playing it. My only reason for not giving it an A is, as I mentioned before, there's some UI things I think they need to adjust. And overall, my A minus versus an A, it comes to polish. There's some things in the game that need a little more polish, I think. And I don't need it to be AAA polish, just user-friendly polish. Broken Motorcycle is a great example of that.
Yeah.
Like,
I love it. I love the Broken Motorcycle.
I mean,
I love
it's
there.
a fun thing to talk about, but gameplay wise, I mean, it's fun for like a couple matches, and you're like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore.
I got a whole episode, like, I think in the first year of this channel, me and Josh trying to drive that fucking thing. And I had a blast just hating that thing.
And then, yeah, I mean, other than the two things I mentioned, it's hard to find any faults, minus like, you know, if you care about graphics enough, you know, that much, in which case I don't think it's the right game for that argument. Obviously, I think all three of us would agree that if it looked like a AAA game, that'd be amazing, but not necessary at all.
It would be doing what no game's done if it was fucking AAA looking. Like that'd be the scale and the amount of stuff in the game. That'd be insane. I mean, I don't even think you can mod Grand Theft Auto to look or do that. That's so much destruction and particle effects and enemies and NPCs running around shooting shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, to use Dynasty Warriors as the example again, that's, you know, another game that always looked kind of outdated every time it came out, but it's because you were sitting there like going through dozens of people at a time. So
when it was out, nowadays they don't have an excuse because games have beaten it.
Sure.
Like 99 Nights when that came out had way more shit on screen, better graphics and crazy effects. I loved that game.
I didn't, but I do agree with the graphic and unit ratio thing. So.
They only had 6 characters though, but that game was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot less.
But they're not competing in that aspect.
No, I know. I was just thinking, like, obviously, how much info is going on the disc as well at that point. So, but yeah.
So B+, A-, and an A, all super fucking high grades, which I'm glad to hear. I'm glad that everybody really enjoyed it, and I want to keep playing it even past this month. Chris just bought it, so we really should play that. But we also got to play Vermintide 2, which I'm excited for Chevy to play that some more. Me and Chris are veterans, pros.
Cool, you guys can walk me through it.
The best ever.
I'll just trail behind and pick up stuff.
Yeah. Sure, Josh will tell me he's excited that Vermintide 2 is the game of the month and then not play it.
He's currently playing it.
He's playing it right now.
Yep.
Yeah, but when I play it, he's going to go play fucking Collect
Hunter.
Rock Simulator.
He'll be playing Monster Hunter, and then you'll get on there and you're like, hey, you should play this other game with me. And he'll be like,
I'm playing it on PC, dude. Okay, and then I play again on PC. I'm on PS4. Where you at? Okay, I'm on PS. I'm playing all three at the same time. Playing PS4, Xbox, and PC right now. Where you at? Well, I just hooked up my Xbox. I'm playing on the original Xbox right now. You picked a bad time. But you never play with me. That's my life with Josh when it comes to games. Let us know in the comments, what do you think about Earth Defense Force 4.1? Have you played it? What do you think of it? You probably love it, considering people on Steam love it. We love it. Everyone loves it. All 5% of the Earth that's still alive loves it. And if you haven't played it, why haven't you played it? Have you never heard of it? I know when I streamed it, I think it was Jeremy came in there, and he's like, Seth, what is this? I was like, awesome. It's fun.
and like Chris said, it's like $20.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Super cheap right now. It's definitely worth it. Definitely pick it up. 4-player co-op. If you got friends, if you like to play things by yourself, you can do that too. The game's not one of those games that's built for multiplayer. Just it does both perfectly fine. But yeah, let us know everything you're thinking about when it comes to Earth Defense Force. And yeah, another really quick reminder that tomorrow we're doing Plus Club Saturday, so stay tuned for that. And that's going to do it for this episode of Game of the Month. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook at Tasty Loot Gaming. Check me and Chris out on Twitch at Tasty Senpai for me, all one word. Tasty_fruit for Chris. Hit the notification button to know when we go live. And we're on Discord, link down below. We're on podcast places, links down below. All of them. There's like 8 or 9 of them. And yeah, my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
Until tomorrow for Plus Club, have a good night, guys, and take it easy.